Kita how many of us? 40 kan?
Not sure, sir.
Ni MCO rasanya continue lagi ni. Yang you nampak screen is the one yang ni Sekarang you nampak
Control test, sir.
Control test tu Tapi nampak the whole screen dengan tepi-tepi ni?
Nampak.
Ya, nampak sir.
Macam mana kita buat presentation terus? Ada.
Tak kejut.
Begitu kita stopkan Test kan? Test dah kira dah habis. Guys.
Yes, sir.
Test macam mana? You all okay dah? So kita continue with new chapter, no?
Test hari tu dah habis ke? I thought kita stop dekat control test.
Oh,
I mean like
see.
we dah habis control test tapi yang organizational dengan mixed test tak lagi.
Oh, okay. Right. Test apply.
Sir, yang Colin Hertfordshire ni ada 4 case tak sir? Yang
case?
full citation ke apa? Sebab
nak refer. Dalam buku ada tak? You don't have any books?
Dalam buku I have tapi tak case ni terlalu lama sir.
Yalah, betul. I try to find it up for you. Can you remind me later?
Okay sir.
Online tak dapat Kalau you copy ni ada sikit je lah. Tapi I can find it for you. You nak tengok the whole case kan? Okay, cantik. Right.
So bagi citation pun boleh je sir?
Tak ada kat sini. Tak ada. Ni, King Branch Division.
Depan dia apa? KBD depan belakang.
KBD
1947. 1947 KBD.
Try tengok.
I tak rasa cukup.
Cukup. Tapi rasanya enough kot untuk dia dapat certain section of that particular ni okay kot. Tak apa, you try. Kalau you tak dapat, then you let me know.
Alright, sir.
So yang participant dengan Zoom chat ni tak nampak? You nampak the screen ni? Guys, boleh nampak? You boleh nampak screen sahajalah kan? Yang tepi-tepi ni yang messages apa semua Zoom chat tak nampak? Okay. So kita sambung control test kan? Macam mana kita nak pergi ke can someone talk to me? Rasa pelik pula duk sembang dengan seorang. Zahira, macam mana? Kita sambung lah. You kata macam mana? Tadi somebody said to me. Tak apa, kita go through contract of...
Boleh sir.
Boleh no?
Kita
Sebab
go through.
yang ni untuk area ni akan ada soalan exam.
Okay.
Anyone else coming in? Kalau ada orang yang nak masuk, you let me know. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We continue with the class. So, as I mentioned with our discussion previously, the need for the court to identify whether a person is an employee or not is very crucial, because without identifying whether a person is an employee or not, then the law cannot come in to be applied to both parties. Okay, the law meaning Industrial Relation Act, Employment Act, yeah. So predominantly these two cannot come in if that particular person, the employee, so-called the employee, is not the employee themselves. If the person is identified as an employee, only then can all the laws can come in. Okay. So the main thing for the court to identify is to establish whether there is a relationship, yeah, with the employee and employer relationship. Guys, you can always message. I don't nampak you punya message if you want to ask me any questions, or you can open your audio and ask questions without you just can interrupt me at any time. Boleh ya? So first kita tengok this situation whereby control test is being applied by the court can be seen from the case lah kan. So we have Short and Henderson, whereby a control test is being applied to determine whether the employee is employee or not. So the courts apply what is said to be control test. So what do you mean by control test? Is to identify who is in control of the employee, whether the control is absolute or not. Now, how do you know whether a control is absolute? By looking at whether the employer have the power to selection. Okay, the first one is whether the employer have the power to select the employee in the first place. Meaning, who employs the employee? Is it the employer or is it somebody else? Say, for example, we have this person working with the company, right? And then the company is now having a contractual relationship with another company. Katalah kita ambil example makcik cleaner dekat UiTM, right? So makcik cleaner tu, dia is it employed by ITM or employed by the manager or the company that she belongs to? Ada sesi interview tak untuk makcik cleaner tu done by UiTM? So obviously kalau you tengok, ITM doesn't involve in the selection of the makcik, right? Whether the makcik can become the cleaner or not. It is not the duty of ITM and nothing got to do with ITM altogether. The makcik is there in ITM because she belongs to the company that is able to do selection. Okay, so she went to the company and she actually went to the interview, so-called interview. I don't know whether there is an interview or not, but obviously a company, before they engage anyone, they will conduct some kind of interview. So that interview must consist of identifying whether you are legally, you know, kalau if you are inbound person, whether you are able to work in Malaysia, you have a permit and things like that, right? So the selection is not done by ATM. Selection is being done by the company itself. So that alone is test number one, whereby she fails. Yeah. If say for example, you fall down because of the makcik put what they call it sabun terlebih, right? So you fall down, you want to sue ITM, and you say that negligence of your ITM staff. Staff means the makcik lah. So you want to relate the relationship of the makcik to ITM by saying that the makcik is the employee of ITM. So ITM obviously will defend and say that no, she is not. You will say she is an employee because she was in ITM and doing things. So if the thing or the situation goes to court, the first thing that the court is going to ask whether ITM has control over her or not to determine whether she is an employee. So the first of the control test, the court is going to look at who selects the employment of the makcik. So in this case, fact finding, the court will discover that it is not ITM. It is being done by somebody else. Then she fails the first test of selection. Okay. Next, if now if this control test we have 4 elements, the 4 elements must work together. Meaning you have number of selection plus salary plus method plus terminate, right? So the control test is a complete test of all the elements. If one of the element is not met, then therefore that particular person in question is not an employee. Okay. So makcik in this example that I give you just now is failing number 1. So kalau fail number 1, obviously you don't have to go through the other test. But being caught, you cannot simply say, okay, she did not fit in test number 1, therefore the case is thrown out. Yeah. So the plaintiff is not able to sue ITM. You cannot sue the ITM. It is not going to be like that. But the court will go through all those and then make a conclusion. Okay. So you are going to do the same dalam exam. If there is a question asking you to do such, so that situation is whereby I don't want kejap. Mana dia tak boleh masuk? Kenapa dia tak boleh masuk Saya tak nampak pun dia punya request. Sekejap There is no request. Kenapa dia tak boleh masuk? Mungkin ni kot. Line ke macam mana ke? You all dengar I clear tak? Dengar tak clear susah tak?
Dengar sir, clear.
Clear, alhamdulillah.
Clear, sir.
Dengar, sir.
Boleh
So-
dengar sir.
Okay. The rest saya nak masuk tu macam mana? Okay
Saya
tak?
rasa diorang baru nak download Zoom.
Oh, okay. So because
Sebab
I cannot,
diorang macam ni.
I tak nampak dia orang punya request untuk nak admit. Right. Okay, nampak the first, okay, nampak dah Nurul Syahadah. Okay. So the first selection, the first in element of control test would be selection. So second is who pays the salary. So again, we are the person that is in question right now because you want to sue ITM because of the negligence of the makcik, right? So the second thing that the court will determine is whether the makcik salary is being paid by ITM or being paid by somebody else. Obviously, she is doing a work. She is not doing work for free dekat ITM. So she is doing a work for some salary. Who is paying the salary? Is it the salary is being deposited into her account by ITM, or she is being paid by somebody else for working in ITM? That is the question. Kalau salary is being paid by somebody else, obviously ITM is actually not the employer by virtue of the second test. So she fails with the second test. Next is the method of work. The question of whether ITM is able to control the method of her work. Should the officer of ITM go around and look at the places that is being being managed by the makcik? Say for example, makcik tu dia handle cleaning of Cempaka 1, 2, you know, Cempaka 1, 2. So is it the duty of the officer of ITM to go down to look at the cleanliness of the place of Cempaka 1 and 2, or to dictate her, I want you to do this area, I want you to use this amount of soap, I want you to make sure that the time that you do the cleaning must be not during the students, you know. It must be 7 o'clock rather than 8 o'clock, because 8 o'clock is where students are coming in. So the cleaning of the floor by utilizing soap must be conducted at 7 o'clock. So this instruction, is it being done by ITM officers or somebody else? So fact finding lagi lah. Kalau bila nampak fact finding and then discovery of evidence, then you will discover that the instruction is not coming from ITM officers. Yeah, it is coming from somebody else. So that is a boss. Yeah, kita panggil mandor lah. A person that is able to control that particular person punya method of work, or how that person is doing their job. Okay, so in that case where of the makcik now fails the third method, and the termination of employment, meaning you are terminated of your employment, comes from whom? Is it coming from ITM, or is it coming from somebody else? So if you conduct a facts finding, discovery of evidence, then you will start to realize that the termination of her as being the cleaner will come from somebody else rather than ITM. Okay. Isu surat pemberhentian kerja is not coming from ITM. It is coming from somebody else. Okay, clear? So this is what control test is trying to achieve. Okay, kalau kita tengok sini, the control test within the case that I mentioned just now, right? Henderson punya case. This is the situation. So saya tak nampak. Any questions so far?
No, sir, all clear.
Clear? Okay. The mentioning of the application of the test can be seen in the case of Collins. So here, to determine whether a contract of service exists between the employer and employee. So it is to determine whether power to instruct and control the method of work is to be identified. I don't want to. Okay. Right. Kalau kita tengok the case itself, here a patient of the county was killed by the injection of cocaine that was given by the surgeon, you know, and that is because of the mistake of the drugs that is being used. So the operating surgeon ordered the drugs named cocaine through telephone, but the resident house surgeon, who is actually unqualified, misheard, and the procaine as compared to cocaine. So she told the pharmacist to dispense the mixture, which was in fact lethal lah. Cocaine, I pernah masuk hospital Putrajaya because of apa panggil ni kidney stone, ya, sakit lah, ya, ada orang nak masuk. So so bila dia masuk dekat hospital, nothing much that they can do to lift the pain, yeah. So other than giving me cocaine, yeah. So dia bagi injection cocaine, so that would release my pain lah. But my student doctors, yeah, ada I was teaching PLK at that point of time. They contacted me and said, "How are you?" and things like that. I said, "Nothing is being done towards me, but the doctor is giving what they call it drugs." So they kata, "Sir, can you let them know that you don't want to be injected anymore, because after several shots, chances of you become an addict is quite high." I said, "Is it so? Because injection is something that macam biasa lah. You know, you kena inject, you macam mabuk, you tidur and things like that. But dia kata, after several times, chances of you becoming an addict is high." So what I did was, I called the pengarah and said, you have to do something towards me lah. A prognosis, meaning a diagnosis of how to get the solution, must be done. Sebab I'm a government officer and I'm a lecturer. So without me able to go to my classes is something that is detrimental to the system itself. So bila ada marah pengarah, after I think about 15 minutes ada 4-5 doktor datang dengan muka masam dia orang, and trying to find out what is the best solution. So here in this situation, we can see that misadministration of drugs resulting to an issue of something that is impacted that particular person, the patient. Yeah. So the question is about who is in control about the power of to instruct and control the method of work. So if the method of control of how to do the job is being controlled by the employer, and then obviously the employee would be the employer's staff. Okay, any questions? Don't want to ask. Sorry. Any questions that you want to ask? Tak ada?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So, tapi the problem is, kalau you pakai that particular test, yeah, this test, especially the one that we are talking about, this method of work, selection is very simple. Salary is obviously simple juga. Ya, siapa masuk dalam account, you know, by the end of the day, siapa yang masuk duit, you know, siapa yang terminate, number 1, 2, and 4 is very straightforward. However, number 3 is the one that is causing some problem. Okay, so this control test kadang-kadang is not a good test to be used to determine whether the employee is actually the legal employee of the employer or not, right? So because this test is no longer accurate, yeah. So new approach has to be made in order for the courts to determine. So why we are learning this? Because eventually you akan jadi lawyer, you akan jadi judge, right? So you are going to apply the same thing. Apa tu bunyi? I mute Mujahid because bunyi bising. Alright. So, captain of the ship, say for example, captain of the ship. Macam mana kita nak determine whether method of work being controlled by the employer towards captain of the ship? Captain of the ship is an employee. Dia bukan ada business on his own. Kapal tu bukan kapal dia. Dia cuma nakhoda je, captain. So he is getting salary from somebody else. Say for example, kita ada Petronas punya apa? Kita panggil MIC, MIC. The shipping company that is belonging to Petronas. So Petronas is the employer of the captain. So the captain is in control of the ship. So the question is whether the employer, i.e. Petronas, is able to control how the captain drive the ship. Sebab kalau nak drive the ship, obviously you need to know, certain element of the sea. Kalau you nak tengok, you nak baca map, you nak tengok mana pasir, kedalaman macam mana, you nak tengok bila pasang surut and things like that. So that actually is based on expertise. So Petronas as the employer doesn't have that expertise. So macam mana kita nak buat? So that is a question that comes into play. When it comes to doctors pun sama juga lah. Right, they are expert people, and the employer, i.e. the hospital that engage them, doesn't go about and tell them, you kena potong sini, cara macam ni. Dia akan akan tanya dekat administrator of the company, kenapa you nak sibuk, nak kacau? I'm the officer of the company, I am in control, I therefore can direct you how to do work. Dia akan kata, are you a doctor? Okay, kalau you bukan doktor, then shut up lah. So that is the issue. Okay, kalau lah kata when it comes to doctor, patient mati. Okay, you adik-beradik with the patient tu, you want to sue the hospital. Obviously, you want to sue the doctor. You kena ada nexus, kan? Kena ada relationship of the doctor and the hospital. Kalau tak ada relationship of employee-employer, so you tak boleh pakai vicarious liability under negligence, kan? You ada concept of vicarious liability of the doctor, therefore the hospital must pay. So in this situation, the hospital can always defend and saying that, look, the control test number 3 is method. So I cannot control the method of how the doctor do operation. So therefore, control test number 3 test is failing. So therefore, the doctor is no longer my employee. So kalau doctor is able to be, the hospital is able to remove the doctor from the list of employees, then what will happen to your legal case against the hospital? Kalau macam tu, semua hospital boleh lari yang saying that we cannot control the doctor, therefore if you apply control test number 3 fail. So then the court move forward and saying that let's apply another test, on top of the control test. Control test pun bagus because it can determine number 1, 2 and 3, selection, salary and terminate. But method kita tengok another test which they call organizational test. Organization test. So this test can be seen in the case of Stephen Jordan and Harrison McDonald. So nanti kalau you nak that particular case, I can find for you later. But here the case being decided by Lord Denning. So he says that whether a person, if you apply a control test and you fail the third limb of the test, then the question comes is whether that particular person is an integral part of the organization themselves. Okay, what do you mean by integral part? Without that person, the company is not able to function. Okay, macam doktor, hospital. Without doctors, can the hospital function? Tak boleh kan? By logic that you, if you think the core business of the hospital is to do treatment, and as far as treatment is concerned, nurses cannot give treatment because nurses are not qualified to give treatment to patients. So doctors are the one that is allowed by profession, by the law, to give, to administer some kind of what do you call it, service, medical treatment to any patient that comes to the hospital. So obviously, doctors are integral part of the hospital itself. Nurses, they are not. They are just on the sideline, exemplary. Exemplary meaning they are just on the sideline. So dia orang tak ada pun boleh. The doctors can do all the job. Tapi berat sikit lah. Tapi doctors can do the job. Yeah. Tapi kalau cleaners of the hospital, kalau tak ada, a bit inconvenience for the hospital to administer their businesses, but they can go without the cleaners. Yeah. Obviously, without doctors, tak boleh jalan hospital. Macam I bagi example, I think I have given you example that me as a lecturer, is it my duty as a lecturer, am I an integral part of your ITM? Because ITM is in the business of teaching, in the business of education. If you are doing education, what is the most integral part of the medium that is being used for education? Obviously, when you do the investigation, you will start to realize it is not the Cik Amir, it is not Atika, it is not the officers yang kita ada, that is doing the job. It's not about the dekan, it's not about the timbalan dekan. It is about the lecturer themselves. So without the lecturer, the class cannot continue, and obviously, the lecturer by that virtue is an integral part of the ITM. Okay, so kalau captain tadi, obviously captain is an integral part of the company of Petronas, say for example. Kalau makcik tadi, remember that we are discussing about the makcik. The method is not being controlled. Say for example, in this particular case, obviously the method of control is being done by the employer, somebody. Mesti kadang-kadang you nampak kan, makcik akan ada seorang perempuan yang lalu dekat cempaka 1, kedua akan cakap dengan cleaner tu. So that is the person that is in control of how the makcik is going to do the job. But when it comes to professional, an integral part must be applied in order for us to identify how the method of control is being conducted by the employer. Questions? You can ask the questions utilizing the chat. The chat. Any questions that you want to ask? You can pass it to the chat. Okay, kalau kita tengok sini, the case itself, the facts, engineer wrote a book that used knowledge that he acquired while he was working with the firm, but slightly in different capacities lah. Okay, Section 5 of the copyright, this is referring to UK, provides that if the author of the work was under a contract of service, then the first owner of the copyright shall be the person of whom the author was employed. Meaning, kalau lah kata you are employed, macam I lah, I am employed by ITM. Therefore, if I create any document or any research, obviously the first owner would be Siapa? ITM lah kan? Because I am under the contract of service. Now, it depends. If the work that I completed within the office hours, okay? If it's done within office hours, then therefore the owner should be the where the employer, where the author was employed. Questions? Simple kan? So here the question of whether the person was considered to be an employee under the contract of service, yeah. So the court held, kalau you tengok kat sini, so the court distinguished between the contract of service and contract for service. They applied the control test. Okay, the court further could not get that decision, and then what the court did was to stipulate whether the person considered as an employee under contract of service, and on top of that, the court is applying the integral part to determine whether that particular person is the core, doing a core business towards the company itself. On the facts of the case, the court concluded that engineer contract was mixed, between two at different times. It was held that engineer was the author of the work, but the specific material he acquired while he was an employee fell within the copyright and should be excluded from publication. Meaning the author should not be able to utilize the document and say that it's mine and do publication. So dia kena bagi acknowledgement lah. Ya, macam kalau I buat research, when I put up an article and then I put the address of ITM, I put my booking. I'm booking with ITM. Muhammad Haris bin Abdul Rani, UITM Shah Alam, right? So acknowledgement of the employer punya benefits, because you tak boleh simply kata Muhammad Haris bin Abdul Rani, I'm the author, without associating yourself with an organization that you're working with. Questions so far? You can chat if you at any time. So this particular case or test apply in Malaysian case, in the case of Mat Yusof bin Daud and Syarikat Jaya Seberang Takir. So the facts is whereby this particular person who is working in the sawmill carry logs, so he was discontinued employment. So because the company took that action against him, so he sued for damages. So the company is defending themselves, saying that that particular person is not actually their staff. Actually, he is working for another person. So kat sini dia kata the actual case kan, the plaintiff was employed to saw logs, and he was injured and lost his 3 fingers, and obviously because of that he was refused further employment. Okay, he sued the defendant and claimed for damages. Kejap guys, saya ada hal sikit. Okay, ada fogging pula, ada orang kena demam denggi tu. Alright. So here, the company obviously wants to run away from the responsibility in saying that this particular person is not their staff, because he was actually introduced by someone to the company, by an agent. Kalau you tengok the case, the agent is the one that introduced him to the company. So the company is saying that no, he is not our staff because we cannot control his method of work, right? So he sued the defendant and claimed for damages. The defendant denied that their liability by contending that plaintiff was not their employee, yeah? But the employee of somebody else, contractor Lim, and di mana Lim yang bawa dia masuk. So what happened was the court held that Lim could not be held as the contractor because he was not undertaking to execute any part of the defendant's sawmill business. Bukan Lim yang jaga the business of the sawmill. It is the sawmill themselves. So he was merely being a middleman in the process of supplying workmen for the defendant. Since wages and number of logs to be sawn were determined by the defendant, so the plaintiff work was an integral part of the defendant business. Because macam saya lah ya, kita ambil macam mana ni nak control kita before we ambil saya as example, wages okay, the company is paying, but the core element that we are concerned with control test number 3 ni is the number of logs, siapa yang determine. Okay, so in this case the court says that the company is able to determine how many logs that needs to be sawn by the defendant. By the plaintiff. Okay, so nak ambil contoh saya, right? I'm integral. How do you know whether I'm integral part of the UiTM or not? To determine whether I'm an employee. So you look at who is able to determine what class that I need to teach, how many hours that I need to teach. So not what class, what the number of hours that I need to teach is being determined by UiTM. So on that nature itself, so that you can identify that Haris is an integral person to ITM punya nature of business. Right? So Saleh Abbas, kalau you tengok the full case, you can Google the case kat dalam. Can you access LexisNexis? Boleh kan?
Boleh, sir.
Boleh.
Boleh, sir.
You gunakan ITM punya dia, you look at for the case. So Saleh Abbas held that the defendant was solely the responsible of the the plaintiff is solely the responsibility of the defendant, yeah? And because of that, the injuries suffered by the plaintiff is considered the responsibility of the defendant. So here wages plus no logs, so number of logs determined by the defendant becomes an integral part of the organization. Therefore, he is an employee. So kalau you tengok another case, ready-mix concrete, Minister of Pension and National Insurance is another case that is to determine whether that particular person is an integral part or not. This is just to compare with the situation of the previous one. Okay, here we have the facts where this particular driver contracted with the company. Kalau you nak tengok ni macam nak bagi example, ini tak nampak. You nampak tak lori yang ada simen yang berputar-putar tu, yang macam bulat kan? Dia ready mix punya konkrit. So kalau konkrit yang dalam tu dipusing-pusing supaya dia tak keras. Perasan tak? Biasa nampak lori tu. Dia selalu dekat jalan. Ada? Tak perasan? Okay. If you look at
Ada selalu saya.
Okay. So kalau in looking at that, is a mixed concrete company for the delivery of concrete. So what happened was the company is trying to run away and saying that the driver itself is an independent contractor. Macam kita tengok yang sekarang ni lah. whether the Grab, you know, Grab, Food Panda, the person that is delivering the food is considered as employee or not. So here the driver was to purchase his own vehicle, yet with the requirement that vehicle is to be painted in the company colors. Yeah, so other logo company and so on. He was to drive the vehicles himself, but under the compliance that with certain company rules, including, for example, the manner of which repairs and payment are to be made. Okay, repairs kalau nak buat repair kena repair dekat dia punya syarikat tertentu sahaja, you know, and payments ada they based on the number of delivery yang dia buat, macam Grab jugalah, right? So the issue here is whether the driver is an employed person under the contract of service, where the insurance that is compulsory for every staff, every employee in the UK to make payment. Yeah, so the company is supposed to provide insurance for the staff. Okay, so the issue raised by the company, they're saying that we don't have to pay the insurance. Why we have to? We don't have to pay the insurance because that person is not our staff. So the case goes to court to determine the status whether that particular person is indeed a staff or not. So the court held whether a contract creates a master and servant situation relationship. And this is to be determined by the basis of contractual rights and duties. Yeah. So you look at the document. Kalau you have an engagement with your employer later on, they will look at the document of contract that is being identified. In this case, the facts stated that the driver is to be independent contractor. However, this fact or statement that under the contract stating the title as independent contractor is not important, because the court will never look at the words that is being used. The court will look at the nature of relationship that was established. So the nature will determine whether there is a contractual relationship of what nature. So you dah belajar dalam contract 1 dan contract 2, right? So here, the court secondly held that the employment under the contract of service exists only when, number 1, the person agrees to perform a service for the company with the exchange of some kind of salary, and second, a person secondly, the person, Allah, silap tak tutup tingkap. Now the fog is coming in. Kejap. Hello. Okay. Semalam I nampak ada hujan lebat 2-3 hari lepas ni. Ada burung jatuh, anak burung jatuh. Semalam saya ambil lah simpan. Try nak bagi makan, dia tak nak makan pula. Dan hari ni saya lepaskan. So kesian dia kena pok. Tak tahu lah parents dia main ambil ke tak. Okay, right, kita continue. The court held that employment must establish the test lah. Okay, so whether remuneration is being given by the employer, and then a person agrees expressly or implied whether to be subjected to some method of control by the company, right? So including control over the task of performance, meaning time, yeah, or method of methods of way how to do things, yeah. Macam yang tadi kita tengok the number of logs dalam the previous case just now. And the thirdly is the contractual provision, whether it is consistent with the contract of service. So they look at the facts of the case. So under these facts, the court held that the driver had sufficient freedom in the performance of his contractual obligation, as he was free to decide the vehicles that he is going to use, the labor, his own labor, the fuel, the method of the fuel that he is going to be utilizing. Kadang-kadang setengah orang dia minta nak pakai certain fuel, but this situation fuel is being decided because dekat UK different station ada different prices so kita macam dekat Thailand pun sama lah, tapi kat Malaysia kita ada fix So other requirements in the performance of tasks is being also conducted by the person itself, right? So in lieu of this freedom, he was an independent contractor. The court said that he was an independent contractor and not the employee of the company. Therefore, the company is not liable for paying insurance. So the insurance for that particular person has to be paid by the employee themselves, by the person itself. Okay, I use the word employee, nanti you confuse. Okay, so test number 1, 2, 3. If you add them up, then therefore you have a contract of service. Yeah, number 1, employees agrees to use his own expertise, and here the employer pays him monetary form of remuneration. Second, employee agree impliedly or expressly to be bound by the employer's instruction, and all other conditions of the agreement were consistent with the nature of job of independent contractor rather than employee. Yeah. So kalau lah kata ada situation whereby a person that is being able to give to be allowed to do things totally on his own, only a minor control of the employer towards him, chances of him becoming an employee of that employer is very minimal. Okay, kalau you nak pakai integral, yes, he might be the integral. Kalau you kata tadi cement, he is the driver of a cement truck, which is the core of the business of the what they call it, the company of cement, right? So that particular person is integral part. So integral has to be also scrutinized whether how far that person is being controlled by the company. If it is so minor, the control is so little, then chances of that person becoming the employee is very not likely. Yeah. Questions? So here, doctors, example, surgeons, consultant, whether they are expert in their own fields, no way hospital can control their method of work. Sometimes kalau you tengok case Fu Fiona, Asunta Hospital, BJ, right? They wanted to run away and by saying that actually that person is not their employee. So, but the court says no, that you have enough control over that particular person. You identify the operation theater. You identify the time that needs to be conducting the patient punya operation. Okay, you supply with all the nurses to the doctor in order for him to carry out the operation. You supply with the equipment for the doctors to do the operation. So how can you say that the doctor is not your staff? Yeah, the doctor is actually, by looking at all the things that he's doing, is actually a staff of the company. So any things that the doctor has conducted against the patient, i.e. kalau lah kata doctors has negligently put the patient in negative situation or in pain or injury, so therefore the patient can now sue the hospital by virtue of the concept of vicarious liability. Okay, so mixed test. If we were to apply, sometimes the court, if you look at the court's approach into determining whether a person is an employee or not, they sometimes apply control test, they sometimes apply organizational test. Normally it is a combination of both. Yeah, sometimes courts will only look at control test and do not want to go further. They will put their foot down and say that, okay, by virtue of this, I would think that number 1, 2, 4 is clear. Number 3, though it is not clear, in my opinion, is clear. So they can better 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. But when it comes to certain courts, they can go straight to the issue of organizational test straight away. Very rare lah nak pakai organizational test straight away. So kalau lah the person involved is a question of professional, and expertise, then organizational test is a good way of not wasting the time of the course. Because nak determine number 1, nak kena ada evidence, nak kena ada meeting of the course, session. To prove number 1, number 2, number 4, tak payah, ngarut je. So just go to number 1, number 3, i.e. the organizational test. It can easily be determined whether that person is an employee or not by virtue of their punya contribution to the company. Okay, clear? Rasa burung tu I kena ambil balik dah lagi. Alright. So combination mixed test is a mixed test that is applying both the control test and organizational test at the same time. So kadang-kadang courts dia akan pakai control test, and then kalau ada masalah then they apply the organizational test. But sometimes the court apply immediately the mixed test. So basically, no test is conclusive. Yeah, nothing that is able to identify whether a person is an employee or not. But the court should look at the elements. Yeah, other elements like, say for example, right to control right to control the employee. Whether the employee is the integral part of the organization. Is it contracted for profit? Sometimes it's not about salary, it's about profit. So kalau lah kata you engage with a person, that person is getting certain portion of the profit of the venture that you enter into. So whether that person is a staff, kalau kita tak ada lah pasar Ramadan kan. So katalah pasar Ramadan, you create that situation, you are the one that wants to create that pasar Ramadan. So you engage people. When you engage people, you kata, you work with me, I bagi salary. Tapi kita by the end of the puasa Ramadan, I will share profit with you. So if you were to say that, then it is no longer an employee-employer relationship. It is a sort of a partnership. Okay. So ownership of instruments of work, as I mentioned tadi, ialah doktor tu kata, okay, the hospital can run away and saying that the doctor is not engaged by us. We don't take him because he is independent consultant. So we can only ask him to come to do operation for our patient. But the courts akan kata no. You look at the instruments that is being used by the doctor. Who provide that? Okay, the venue, the equipment, the staff. So that plays a big role to determine whether the doctor is a staff. entitlement of exclusive services. Yeah. So maybe perhaps kalau kita ambil doctors tu, dia akan ada special parking lot, you know. So nampak macam kecil tapi but still it plays a very important role to determine whether the doctor is an employer or not. Remuneration, payment remuneration is different, and it comes to some kind of payment being made to you for doing a job. Other remuneration can come in terms of monetary or non-monetary in value. So kalau non-monetary in terms of katalah doctors tu walaupun dia consultant tapi dia dapat diskaun, ya, diskaun kalau adik-beradik dia ataupun anak-anak dia nak pergi hospital tu. So that alone is a special arrangement of between the company, i.e. the hospital with the doctor, yang kononnya orang luar lah. So that can also be a factor that can be considered by the court to determine whether that particular doctor is an employee or not. So next is power of selection, appointment. You know, power of selection and appointment. Sometimes you can clearly see this as an interview session, di mana kita have some people going on interview with the company. Sometimes we don't see that, you know. Sometimes we see people of the administrator of the company ataupun in the situation of hospital, the administrator of the hospital calls out that particular doctor and say, doctor, kita ada patient nak buat operation of the eye. Can you come in for that operation? I give you a slot and we will prepare you everything. So if the doctor came and conducted that operation and the result, the patient is blind, so the patient is able to sue or not. It depends on that relationship in terms of power of selection and appointment. So the hospital can always say that, kami tak pernah buat pun session interview untuk ambil doctors. Kalau kami ambil doctors, kami ada doktor sebenarnya. Doktor-doktor kami yang ada ialah kami appoint by virtue of interview. So this particular doctor yang ada the problem, ya, doktor mata ni, kami tak pernah pun buat selection and appointment pun. It was never done in a proper manner. So he is not or she is not our doctor. No, the court will look at the situation that involved in engaging the relationship between the doctor and the hospital. Power to suspend, you know, power to suspend and also can be taken into consideration into determining whether that particular person is a employee or not. Suspend macam mana? Okay, if you are not doing job according to what we want, we can sort of implement some kind of some kind of punishment, yeah, sort of quote unquote punishment, i.e. to suspend you for the things that you have done. So that is a means of control juga, you know. And when the company can suspend you, meaning the company can control the method of work. It is in a passive way rather than active way. Active way kita tunjuk you kena buat ni, you kena masuk operation time ni, you kena patient nama ni, saya kan you kena pakai, you know, that is active. Jadi kalau passive, they can always suspend the doctors by act of suspending pun. It can be a factor that can be considered by the court to determine whether the doctors is employee or not. Power to fix place, time, work, and time for holidays. Yeah, wow. So times that is off by the company to identify and saying that, okay, you can take a leave if you were to, that is also a method of factors that can be used to determine. Time of work, you come from 8 to 5, fixed place, you come to that particular venue, you know, that office. Sometimes kalau kita tengok the integral part of control, so the employer can be look upon whether they are able to control the time or place of that particular person to conduct activities. Yeah, in this case the doctor lah. Kalau lah kata the hospital is able to fix the place, doktor masuk ke operation theatre number 5 tingkat 4, wing belah kanan ya. Kami dah letak time untuk doktor buat. You know, even though he is a consultant, private consultant, meaning dia cuma dapat gaji based on the nature of work yang dia buat. Why? Because macam ni lah, consultant ni kadang-kadang doctors tak nak engage because gaji dia mahal sangat. I did mention to you about my relative getting salary of 110,000 per month untuk neurosurgeon. Mana larat hospital bayar kalau tak ada case of mental ataupun operation of the brain for that month, still the hospital have to fork out a salary of 110,000 to be paid to the person per month. So hospitals don't want to engage this type of specialist. So what they did was to get services of these doctors. So that becomes an issue, whether that particular doctor is an independent person or contractor or employee. So outside party would look it as a contract of employment. So we look at outside party. Yeah, outside party means what? A third party looking at that relationship between the so-called employee and the employer. Dia akan nampak seolah-olah employee itu memang adalah employee to the employer. For example, dalam case doktor yang consultant yang 110,000 sebulan. Actually, nobody knows about him not being orang kata permanent staff of the hospital, right? As a patient, you pergi ke hospital, dia tak sangka pun. Kata, oh ya ke? Saya tak tahu kata dia consultant. Saya pergi, saya nampak list of consultant that I can choose. Before you masuk tu, the hospital akan ada list. You pergi private hospital, you akan nampak list of consultant for you to choose. That consultant, chances are they are not engaged with the hospital. But it was not stated clearly that these people are not employees of the company. Why company tak nak letak macam tu when problem can arise? What do you think? Can someone respond to it? Dari segi nak chat ke apa ke? Kenapa bila ada dalam situation whereby hospital, kalau you pernah tak masuk hospital yang you tengok ada list of all consultant. Nah, selalunya ada datuk, datuk, doktor, sekian, tak ada Tan Sri lah. Ada Tan Sri. Kita pernah tengok di mana orang ni memang highly reputable punya status lah. Jadi dia punya nama tu, dia punya credentials dia punyalah panjang. So pernah tak masuk hospital you nampak benda tu? For those yang pergi dekat private, you akan nampak lah. Anyone? Pernah nampak Okay. So kalau you nampak, the question here is that why the hospital is just ignoring by putting a plate to inform the patient, potential patient that is coming in. Hey, patient, macam seolah-olah guys, this is just to inform that the consultant listed in this particular list are not our staff. Therefore, you have to take all the precaution to determine whether you want to take them their services or not, because we will get some portion of their fee that they charge you. Ada tak you nampak statement by the hospital selain daripada nama-nama doktor tu? Whereas that is a mode of exclusion clause by the hospital that we are not going to be responsible. Tak perasan Because kenapa tak perasan? Because hospital tak akan buat benda-benda macam tu. Bodoh lah dia kalau dia orang buat macam tu, because bila patient dia masuk, dia perasan that exclusion clause, dia tak akan engage. Kenapa pula I nak engage dengan a doctor yang bukan staff hospital? If anything happens to me, I want to sue the hospital. I don't want to sue the doctor. Doktor apa yang dia boleh bayar I? Kalau lah kata you nak sue 5 juta, doktor tak boleh bayar 5 juta. Kalau dia boleh bayar pun dalam masa 20 tahun, bayar sebulan 5,000. No, you want that 5 juta sekarang. So the hospital is actually, mungkin you kata insurance hospital ada, insurance doktor tu ada insurance. Kalau dia ambil insurance, to cover how much, takkan you nak tanya doktor, doktor, you cover insurance berapa banyak? Saya nak kena tahu lah. Saya nak ambil you sebagai my consultant. Now, if that situation happens, chances are patient tak nak pergi ke hospital tu. Patient akan pergi hospital yang di mana dia akan nampak, oh selamat, doktor ni memang dikontrol oleh oleh hospital. Easier. Kalau patient tanya hospital tu, will they give out information? Yes, right? They have to, because you are asking. Ingat informed consent, you belajar dalam TOT, medical negligence. Okay, so the information must be given. But people are under the impression that consultants are the employee of the hospital. So ini yang I nak kata ni, the outside party would look at it, the relationship as contract of employment. So when the case goes to court, the court can determine and by looking at other people punya perception. So dia boleh panggil the defendant obviously dia panggil the plaintiff lah. The plaintiff can call witnesses, right? Witnesses can be called to the court to give their opinions when it comes to them engaging the hospital punya services. When they come in, obviously they will see the list of consultant. Macam you lah, you are a reasonable person right now. Okay, so you can be called as witnesses, and if you come to a hospital, do you think that the list of doctors are doctors that belongs to the hospital? Apa jawapannya? A reasonable man yang answer. You jawab. Tapi sekarang ni dah macam knowledge tu dah kena clouded lah, because now you know that some consultant are not engaged by the hospital. They are outside people. They are contractors rather than employee. Okay, but before I give the information that the consultant are not employees of the hospital, obviously you would see them as employees, because they were there, dia pakai baju putih, duduk jalan sana jalan sini, and bagi directive kepada nurses, and then pakai robe yang ada indication that the hospital punya logo. So by nature of their punya behavior, you do not know whether they are contractors or not. So beza dengan makcik cleaner yang tadi tu, you can obviously see that they are not wearing ITM punya badge. Obviously kalau you tengok baju-baju dia orang kan, tak pernah lah you tengok baju dia orang kan. Tapi be observant and look at nanti kalau kita next semester lah. Next semester when you come into the faculty, kalau hopefully COVID ni dah settle, then have an observation of the costume that they are using. Is it lambang ITM or lambang something else? You know, so that is the impression that you can utilize. in determining whether that particular person is employee or not. Now, we have a case, American American International Insurance, and Datuk Lam Peng Chong. Here, he is claiming reinstatement, under Industrial Relations Act because something happens to him and he wants his status to be reinstated, because he was terminated. The court found that based on the tests and elements to determine whether workman or not, yes, based on the extent and degree of control exercised by the company. Okay? The court implemented the organizational test, whereby the elements to determine whether a person is that particular person, Datuk Lam Peng Chong, is the employee of AIA. So Dr. Adat and Assunta Hospital. Assunta ni selalu ada Fufiona pun Assunta juga kan. So Allah Alam, I'm not saying anything. You decide. Be careful coming to going to hospitals. Kita kena buat investigation. Kalau you sakit apa-apa, nak cari consultant siapa, datuk mana, datuk doktor mana yang specialist. So you kena Google and identify to determine. So in this case, Federal Court punya case, whereby the consultant radiologist average earning per month is 12,000, contracted on contractual basis. They consultant, consultant, by the word consultant, kita ingat kata dia a specialist lah. Bukan, consultant is an outside person. They consult sahaja. So kalau you perasan, kalau you pergi dekat hospital, dia punya charges tinggi gila. You pergi jumpa je. Tapi consultant punya fee, dia kata, okay lah, saya tak charge consultant punya fee. Kadang-kadang doktor tu baik, kesian orang tu miskin. Tapi bila bill, kena dekat benda-benda lain. Macam mana? Bilik yang dia pakai untuk consultant tu di-charge oleh hospital. Services lain akan masuk dalam bill. So you realize that consultant fee dia lain, administration fee lain, logistic fees lain. So all the things yang kalau kita ambil ubat pun lain. So memang is a business. Kalau pergi hospital memang yang tak happy . Kalau you tak ada insurans jangan pergi. Memang you mati. Mati bukan dengan apa, you akan mati selepas you sihat. Sebab you kena saman. They are very nasty people juga. So here, fixed term contract are not excluded from the provision on security of employment under IRA, even without possible union representative of future work nature. So Dr. Dat punya situation, whereby Industrial Court decided that they have a jurisdiction over foreign, as well as local employees. Okay, kalau kata fixed term contract, maksudnya fixed term macam mana? I engage you untuk buat sesuatu kepada rumah saya for the next 6 months. So macam seolah-olah contractual punya relationship. Okay, so tak boleh. The court would not look at that as a fixed term, saying that you can run away, meaning the hospital can run away from their responsibility. So Assunta Hospital is trying to run away from the situation that they are responsible for that. So the court kata no, under the IRA they are still responsible for the engagement. So other cases that you can explore is Aftel Private Limited and Harbhajan Singh. This is another case. Susah nak dapat cases because these are Industrial Court punya cases. Industrial Court punya cases is very difficult for us to get a copy. So I'll try to get a copy if you want to. But if you manage, anyone who are able to have access to certain certain platform, if you can have a copy of that, can you share with the class? Okay. So I think in continuation of that, ada apa lagi? And after lagi dua
Sir?
slide. Yes, saya.
Macam mana nak cari yang industrial court punya cases tu?
Saya
Like, kalau
kita masuk dalam industrial court punya portal kan? Ada dia punya form untuk carian kes. Tapi bila kita carian kes ni dia 2000 berapa? 2008 saja ada.
okay.
So what I can suggest is if you want to explore, other than you want to enhance your knowledge, what you can do is you can utilize that portal to find cases that is above 2008. 2008 ke 2018? Sikit sangat lah. They are not user friendly. Okay, that they want to share with the society in terms of the decision that they are making. Ni banyak case okay, now can I ask everyone to explore all these cases in order for you to share with your friends? Okay, Jamesburg Services Hotel Jayapuri ni memang akan ada lah dalam internet. Kalau you just cut and paste memang akan ada, right? Ini famous case. Wisma Eye Clinic, you know, with Aspatra ni a case involving Karen scandal. Aspatra ni Lorin Esmi Osman punya company dia director of Bank Bumi-Putra, dia mana dia lah Lorin Esmi Osman ni skandal Bank Bumi-Putra run up. And Aspatra is the vehicles that is being used to buat pelari duit, amounting to hundreds of millions of our depositors' money. So Uniphonics Corporation, so another case that you can look at. So question that you asked just now, macam mana nak access data? So
Sir,
yeah.
I was just on their platform just now and dia kata boleh tapi perlukan like detail, really detail.
Tengok, you are not sharing things kan. Mesti menyampah masuk dalam website dia. Detail things masuk dia macam mana? Dia nak tahu macam mana? Date ke apa? Which court ke which session? Is it something like that?
Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to search for full awards tadi and I masukkan the parties punya nama. Lepas tu dia kata okay, bawa parties punya nama, siapa claimant, then you boleh submit by that, and then siapa respondent, submit by that juga. Lepas tu I click kata tak ada award.
Tak ada award kan? So maksudnya database tak ada lah. Kalau lah the thing that you are searching is the one that is valid kan? So tak ada because they don't put up that data online. Okay. So tak apa, nanti later on when MCO habis, I dah lama actually nak contact dia orang and discover how student to be able to access their data. By not going there, dia orang baru ubah tempat, baru ubah office daripada tu ke jalan dekat UTM tu. So maybe they are upgrading lah kot. Okay. So jadi try other means rather than looking at the kadang-kadang industrial court ni pun kadang-kadang dia orang tak nak letak judgement tu, takut lagi orang scrutinize. So, you know what I'm saying, right? So they they make that decision. That decision is like not a written decision, but it's only on verbal, which is very odd.
Sir,
Yeah.
library kita tak dapat nak access ke benda tu? Like for example, if we make a request to the library, library pergi dapatkan.
Boleh? You try tengok. Because
Nanti
you
I-
can contact online, right? You can chat with that person. Kita punya
Yeah.
siapa nama Puan Shuaida, Suhaida ke? Can't remember her name. But she is able to assist you. Yeah. And katalah because biasalah guys, benda tu sebenarnya kita buat subscription ni mahal. We pay hundreds of thousands. Then the frustrating part of it is that only a few students utilizing the software that we engage. So kadang-kadang tak justified lah for ITN to pay a lot of money. So itu pun macam Lexis dia orang kata they don't want to engage because under subscribe. Yeah, under subscribe ini tak ada traffic. Bila tak ada traffic dia macam should we pay that amount because law students are not utilizing. Macam dulu kami MLJ apa semua, they have a hard copy and everyone pakai. But sekarang ni kan online, kebanyakannya people, okay, that certain things I don't know why students are no longer wanted to go and look at the actual case. Yeah. Okay. Boleh what I'm saying that you try to contact the apa orang panggil the apa orang panggil dia, the librarian lah, yeah, the librarian, and to identify whether it's possible or not. Any question that you want? Siapa-siapa yang segan bercakap, takut suara dia suara emas, yang he nak buat chatting, you can put it your chat here because we still have like several minutes left. Jangan malu, jangan segan. Tak ada. Ada yang jawab dekat WhatsApp ke? Tak kan? Ada. Right. So if there is no question, kita end the session lah. Right?
Sekejap, sir, nak tanya.
Okay, good.
Yang mixed test tadi tu kan ada other elements yang we have to look at tu. Do we have to satisfy all ke ataupun macam yang relevant je?
Mixed test. Mixed test is a combination. Kalau you dapat combination of control test.
Yang dia kan ada banyak ni other elements yang will also be taken a look at, yang contracted for profit ke apa semua tu kan. We have to have everything ke or
no,
yang mana yang relevant je macam mana?
Yeah. Bila dapat a few of this, right, macam you nampak sekarang ni kan, if you were to have some, if you're the judge, right, it's very difficult to look at the control test pun susah, tengok organizational test pun susah. Then you put both of them mix and look at other things also. Meaning control test pun you pakai, organizational test pun you pakai, and then other elements that is not belonging to either two of them. Yeah, the relationship, nak establish relationship, you have to look at the relationship as a whole. Bukan look at from the perspective of whether that person is an organization, integral part of the organization or not. So you tak tengok on that perspective alone. You ambil every perspective yang ada untuk you make that decision. So your decision is going to be a very informative decision or very objective decision. Because you akan tengok semua benda. Bila you buat keputusan bahawa dia adalah sebagai employee kepada employer, then that decision that you made is based on all factors. Yeah, factors that is being applied to the test. Yeah, we can take tests in order for us to utilize as a means for us to decide. You can have the function of the employee towards the company, i.e. the integral, whether the doctors is the integral part of the hospital or not, whether the captain is the integral part of the company, shipping company or not, right? Whether Haris is going to be the integral part. So function, you are looking at the function, the expertise of that person. Second, tadi control test kan. Second is in the function of that person, whether he is integral or not. And then the third one is a mixture of everything. Yeah. So you can utilize everything. Once the bottom line is, by the end of the day, you should be able to come to a subtle conclusion that this particular person is not a contractor, it is the employee. Though the contract itself says that contract for service. But you as the judge would determine that particular relationship of a nature of contract of service. Meaning that person is the employee of the employer. So only
So,
when
kalau nak jawab soalan test or the final
exam
assessment nanti kan.
Ni for everyone, ni exam soalan ada soalan ni, area ni.
So it is best for us to discuss it mixed test lah kan. Meaning nak kita dah cerita control, lepas tu organizational, lepas tu kita masukkan dekat mixed test and look at these other factors as well. Then baru come to an macam conclusion lah, is it?
Dia macam ni, you boleh open up and saying that there are several methods that is being used by the court to determine whether the subject or the plaintiff is the plaintiff lah, kita boleh panggil plaintiff lah, yeah, whether the person is an employee or not by virtue of test, and the test mainly covers control test and organizational test, yeah, and also a mixed test. So I'll be explaining the test, and the tests are relevant to the problem that is given if it meets the criteria of the test. So you start off dengan control test, saying that you explain what is control test and you apply to the problem that is given. Once you apply, then you discover that there is an issue. Obviously, the question is going to give you some, not a straightforward punya issue yang senang pakai control test boleh dapat jawapan. The question is going to give you more than that, right? Dia akan bagi perspektif macam katalah kita ambil Grab, yeah? Grab situation right now, right? Whether Grab is an employee or not to the company of Grab. So you kena pakai another test in order for you to determine. So you kena pakai organizational test. So you boleh kata dalam you punya writing, we are going to since I already utilized the control test above to the problem, it seems that control test is not able to give a proper or decisive outcome. Next is to utilize another test, which is organizational test. Then you explain organizational test and then apply organizational test dalam problem. So if you can get the solution, then it's good lah. So combination of control test with organizational test can solve the status of that person. Tapi you boleh kata juga on top of that, since the facts of the case do not provide, you can always say that macam yang tadi lah, contracted for profit, you know, entitlement of exclusive services, remuneration, you know, power to suspend, fixed place, you know. So those are the things that you factors that you can extra, yeah, element that you can include into determining whether that particular person is employee or not. Boleh tak? Faham tak?
Faham sir, faham.
Yang lain, I rasa you faham, tapi orang lain yang risau ke?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, good. Thank you. Right.
Just to make sure my understanding is correct. So dalam organisation test ni, which kita tengok apa status employee tu ke macam mana? Macam tengok whether dia penting lah dekat situ. Whether kita boleh apa saman dia. Tapi kalau saman dia je lah, tak boleh saman dia punya macam.
Actually,
macam
kalau lah kata saya sepak you dalam kelas, right? Dalam kelas, bukan kat luar. Kalau kat luar, dia boleh kata, yeah, he was our staff, but it is not within our control. Because keluar daripada ITM, bukan dalam ITM. You know, I support you kat luar ITM, dekat section 2. Right? So you want to sue me. You want to sue Haris, right? To claim for damages. And obviously, you know Haris doesn't have money. You nak claim 40,000. Okay, sebab gigi you terkeluar. So you want to sue for, otherwise you dah buat police report, obviously Haris akan kena criminal case lah. Tapi is this a civil case? You want to claim tort. So bila you nak claim, you obviously want my employer to be responsible because ITM has a deeper pocket than me. I 4,000 minta dah. Nak bayar 40,000 macam mana? Right. So you want the money fast. And you want ITM to pay because ITM can pay compensation 40,000 just like that. Sebab dia punya income banyak kan. So you want to establish the relationship of Haris and ITM. Now Haris, this incident berlaku dalam kelas di mana I support you, right? So now you want to establish Haris punya relationship as a employee. So senang lah, you tak tengok siapa control test you apply, you akan dapat 1, 2 dengan number 4, memang senang. Number 3, quite difficult kan, sebab tak ada siapa pun control macam mana saya mengajar. Haris, you kena habiskan topik ni, macam ni, tak ada. It is up to me. You tengok semua lecturers, they have their own way of doing things, right? Cara mengajar, method mengajar, rule yang dia orang pakai dalam kelas, you know, things like that. It's up to them. So is it because number 3 failed, they are not the employee of ITM? Therefore, when you sue me, you are not able to sue ITM because ITM ni dia cepat-cepat nak lari daripada their responsibility by saying that Haris is not their staff. So you can always say that, excuse me, Haris is being controlled by you. Dia kata, apa pula? Control apa? I do not control how he teach in class. So dia bagi example, kata dia ajar taught, and then dia bagi example of slapping, tiba-tiba terkena you. Kena atau tak kena? So you want to say is the negligence of the staff. So ITM kata, no, he is not our staff. So you boleh kata, excuse me, siapa yang suruh dia buka kelas taught, yang mengajar kelas taught? Adakah Haris sendiri yang boleh pilih? Tak. It was assigned to me that class. Time. Pukul berapa mengajar? Kalau lah kata Haris tu stres mengajar pukul 6 petang dia start kelas. You know? Dia dah menyampah kerana dia dapat pukul 6. Siapa yang letak dia pukul 6 petang? ITM kan? Right. Tempat mengajar dekat Cempaka tingkat 4, you know. I ada kelas yang tingkat 4 yang I menyampah kata nak naik. Just because I lelaki doesn't, ini gender bias. Kalau lelaki bagi tingkat atas, kalau perempuan tingkat bawah. Mana cik? You talk about feminism, equal rights. Then, so who controls where I perform my teaching? ITM kan? So that shows lah.
So that's why we need to use like 2 tests untuk lagi nampak lagi clear lah and easier to sue the employer.
Yes, because the more stronger your case, ingat kan kita belajar MLS kan dulu kan, balance of probability kalau criminal beyond reasonable doubt, tapi when it comes to civil case, the balance of probability, kan? Balance of probability means you are having better facts, that you can present to the court, and the facts is able to support, and your case is by merit is higher, is better than the opposition. If ITN cannot produce defense, credible defense, obviously you punya claim evidence showing that ITM control punya time mengajar, tempat mengajar, that is enough for you to have a better case than ITM.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Soalan lagi yang lain? So dalam exam, you akan dapat 1 week before the due date. Soalan ada 2, and then soalan 1 you dah tahu dah. Area akan cover the test, right? This area that we are doing right now. So it will be one of the question. Then the other question nanti kita discuss later. So you have to be aware of this area. Assignment I tak bagi lagi . Oh, ada siapa tanya? Ada chat. Okay. Memang I belum bagi lagi . Okay, I will give you in 1-2 hari ni. I utang you video . Video tak utang dah lah, because somebody contacted me saying that, sir, kita buat conversation dalam WhatsApp this is too fast. I cannot catch up because they were so fast in picking up. So yalah, kesian jugalah kan. Tapi I said to that person back and saying that you can always go back and look at the chat history kan. So kalau you tengok chat history, then you start to realize, oh, these are the method of identifying. Tapi still not insist on video, which I actually promised you earlier on. So now today we have a session of a video that is recorded, which I'm going to share with you dekat YouTube. I bagi link nanti. It is private. I will edit some section, the beginning and the last one. Kita nak ambil yang content saja kan, kita tak nak yang discussion. Questions? Tak ada. Okay. So I think we end the session, but before we do that, can you look at your ni? I nak hantar you punya activity. The faculty nak respond feedback from you on the activities that we are conducting. Okay, so we see benda ni, and then that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming to class.
Thank you.
So take care, be careful, yeah.
Thank you,
Be
sir.
safe. Salam to your
Thank you,
parents.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Okay, sir. Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
sir.
Take care.
Bye.
You too. You too, sir.